If you don't believe creating SOPs can take seconds instead of hours, you haven't tried Scribe. Check out the
Are you fucking ready to get spooky? It's fucking spooky. Hold on. Yeah, now you can fucking see the spooky. What is up? Creepers and Geekers, the Atari Creep. Your television logo kind of leaves a little bit to be desired here. What is up? No, I didn't bring my guitar in here. I'm in the studio. I got the spooky lights going on. I'm planning to do an actual stream tonight from in here. And I think we're going to be making music and doing all kinds of stuff. But today, fuck games, fuck the music. Let's just hang out and talk about Halloween experiences, Gen X style, when you were a kid, maybe even slightly after, you fucking weirdo millennials. Excuse me a moment. Must remove the beauty veil. All right, I can tell you right now, we are not going to be staying in the costume. This entire hour. So I figured, what the fuck? Let's just get together and just chat about just Halloween in general. How much we fucking love Halloween. How much we, Hold on, I got a phone call here. Oh, my gosh. I'm in the process of getting a job, and I have to go somewhere on the 5th, which I think is a Wednesday. Go take care of some stuff. It's some high-level military stuff. I don't know. They do something with fucking helicopters and microwaves or something like that. Not like food microwaves, but... And it's a lady. I guess she called me. It better not have fucking changed again, because I'm not fucking doing it. Not even for that much money, but... I don't know. So what is everybody's plans tonight? Me? I'm just going to sit on the porch, smoking a bowl, and just enjoying the sounds of Halloween. I got that giant werewolf, and I'd like to figure out a way to turn him around and make him look like he's coming off the porch. And then just put some spooky lights and sounds and like throw fucking candy from the balcony at children. But nah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. Actually, this is not bad. I've never done this before. This was actually sitting right here. It's like creepy cloth from the Dollar Tree I got a few years ago. And I was originally going to use it as like a painting stencil for the pattern, the random creepy pattern on a guitar. But he ended up going with like a pretty lace instead. You know, you lay down your base color, and then you tape off, and you put the lace down, and then you spray lightly over it with a real dark contrasting color. And if you look at a lot of the lowriders from the Mexican culture, mostly like Southern California and stuff like that, you'll see they did a lot of that on the hood of their cars, and fucking beautiful stuff. I love when I see a Monte Carlo or a Cutlass, right? We're talking G bodies, I believe. Early '80s to late '80s, done up in a lowrider style with the fucking small 13-inch Daytons, and usually a real flambastic silver base, but then they use different colors and stencils, and a lot of it would have some kind of a pattern like this, or a lace or something like that. And sometimes they even put like the Mother Mary on the center of the hood, in in the pattern, the rose and stuff like that. I mean, no disrespect, I don't know what any of the symbolism is. I mean, I know who Mother Mary is. All right, I gotta be spooky once in a while, right? But yeah, no, genuinely, I don't know. I just grabbed it and said, you know what, that would look cool. That would look cool. Now I look like I'm some kind of a boat zombie. Actually, you know what? I could be like a fucking, an EC comic, right? I think I look more like an EC comic. So let's talk Halloween, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Somebody start talking about your favorite. You remember we did a video a few years ago of one of my favorite costumes from back then? They were called Kooky Spooks. And what it was a vinyl smock with a picture of the creature you were supposed to be on there. Probably their branding all over the place. And a giant inflatable fucking head that you would strap to your chin. And the edges were fucking sharp. I remember them always cutting. Like, by the end of the night, I looked like I'd been hacked up, you know? And there was this cream makeup that, I don't even think it was grease paint. It was just this green, cream, gross smelling. I can smell it to this day. And then, like, you're out there, and about 2 hours into the whole thing, it's all dried and cracking, and it fucking hurts your eyes. And that was my favorite costume, Kooky Spooks. In fact, I'd love to find one in the box. That green, I think it was a goblin they called it. Let me look it up. Kooky Spooks. Kooky Spook inflatable costume. Yeah, here we go. First fucking picture. I'll show you. That goofy fucking thing. Let's see. Can you see it? You can't see it that well. I'm sorry. Just look at Kooky Spook inflatable. But it was like this big giant green thing with horns. I mean, it was obnoxious. And of course, your head hurt, your neck hurt at the end of the night because you're so used to, doing the thing. Yeah, I don't know. I think my chin whiskers make this fucking mask. I think it works, Maybe I'll turn this inside out. Maybe you know what? I'm going to do that now. I'm going to do it now. No, I'll do it tonight. I'll turn it inside out so the television logo isn't there anymore. Oh, no. I lost my pretty veil. There we go. We're back to being fucking spookified. Oh, I fucked it all up. All right, well, whatever. Whatever's clever. The classic eyeball. Oh, I didn't bring my glasses in here. Fuck, I knew I was going to forget something. The eyeball slicers. Absolutely. I got one of those right here. You're talking about the Ben Cooper vacuum foam style mask. Now, this isn't vintage. I got this at Spirit of Halloween like 3 or 4 years ago. But yeah, no, these had the eyeball fucking things, man. The Ben Cooper style. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 different brands. They ranged from like $2 to like $12, I think. And they were all pretty much the same fucking thing. I guess it was just more about the popularity of the character. Because I was still using... I got the Ben Cooper Darth Vader costume for a few years. And then I did the Kooky Spooks for a few years. But then somewhere in there I had an E.T. one, too. I would love to find that. Oh, my E.T. mask is on the wall from Spirit this year. What a great product. $20. It was a nice hard plastic, not even vacuum form. It was definitely injection molded. And it's a solid base for a 1-to-1 ET. No joke. And I'm actually thinking about taking a mold of that mask. First, I'm going to put clay behind the eyes and then sculpt. You know, the clay can just be peeled and cleaned off. It's just earth clay. God damn it, everyone that grandma's calling me today. What was I saying? Oh, the ET mask. I want to, and then sculpt away the eyes. And then do just a quick little, I have this type of resin that is literally made for brushing on. And you make a mold jacket instead of just making a block mold. You brush it on, you thicken it up, you brush it on and all that. And that way, almost kind of like what you do for a latex mask, right? And you can fold it inside out after to pull the piece out. I'm actually thinking about doing that and then slowly working on a 1-to-1 ET, depending on what's going on, around us and everything. There's a lot of talks of moving out of this apartment, but the kids are going to college here in the next year or so, and they're going to be out doing their own thing, hopefully. So maybe we will start having some room around this fucking place. I'm not counting on it though. No siree would I ever count on something like that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I had that, and I had the ET vacuum form Ben Cooper style fucking thing somewhere in there. I would imagine I had the Darth Vader for the late 70s, and then in the early 80s, probably the Kooky Spooks, and then 82, 83, the ET. So that would make a lot of fucking sense. So, and then from there on, I just did my own thing. I think I did Freddy Krueger one year. I got this mask. It's the same one that everyone has nostalgia for with the foam hat, but it was one from, I want to say it was, they're still around today. They made all the masks for Halloween 3, too. It'll come to me. Don Post. They advertised in Fangoria. And I remember it was like $75 in like 1980s money. And it came with the stupid foam hat, but the mask was beautiful. People asked me if it was prosthetic back in the 80s. I'm like, no, it's a fucking mask. And it came with a glove, but not that same plastic one that everybody got at the store. The one with the all silver, or gray, I should say, fingertips and the dark brown plate with the cheap little thing. No, it was like copper color, and even the glove had like a copper iridescence to it. It was so weird. And there were no separate parts. It was all one injected thing. Or I should say the fingers were all one thing. Then they got riveted onto the back plate. But the fingers had these plastic like pieces that helped you do this. And after a while, of course, the plastic weakened up and snapped. There was no actual mechanical, fastener like a rivet or anything to actually help with the fluid of movement. And I think the blades looked better too. It was just an all-over better looking glove than that fucking one that we got every year for Halloween after that. It's so crazy. I don't know why that one never made it to the stores, at least around here. But I remember begging my dad for that thing, and he was like, all right, fine. And it took forever. It took forever to fucking get home. But I had that, and I had a red t-shirt, or a long sleeve sweatshirt, that on Halloween, I went and got green spray paint and spray painted the green stripes all over the fucking shirt. Not the sleeves. I hate the stripes on the sleeves. I wish they had stuck with that, but somehow he ended up with stripes on the sleeves from part 2 on. I don't know, but yeah, no, that was. I've had fun with costumes, man. I haven't done anything too crazy. I would do more things like on my porch. I remember one year we had nothing going on, nothing, but we had just gotten a brand new something that had a large cardboard box, big enough to make like a little jail cell out of, or a dungeon. So I did that. I painted the thing black. I cut like bars in it, 1 foot by 1 foot. And back then it was real popular to have these inflatable skeletons, and I would love to get my hands on one now. We used to go to this place around the corner. It was more of a garden place, but they were like the one joint around here that had the best looking ones. There were a couple of different paint variations on them. I like the one that didn't have the red all over it, but I would take whatever. But hold on, I have pictures in here to remind me that I do like those things. I think it's in here. Pictures. Yep. Hopefully you'll be able to see this picture better than the last one. But it's just an inflatable skeleton, Let me get the other picture I have of one. No, this one will get all washed out. I'm sorry. But yeah. So I put one of these fuckers in it. And I used to collect the Halloween cassettes and records and stuff. And I got actually an 8-part record album from Fangoria when I was a young kid. The advertisement was like, have you ever wanted to know what it would sound like to drive a drill through someone's skull? Well, now you can. Get this 8-piece record of horrific sounds and haunted nights and all this shit. So what I did is I had, which was fairly new at the time, a dub cassette thing with the 2 cassette players. So I found all my tapes that had different screams and moans and cries. And I took a blank and I made just 60 minutes of nothing but those. I spent all that time the night before, actually, literally recording every moan I could, making sure I didn't double up too soon to make it sound too, because I knew that nobody was going to be there long enough to hear the whole individual moan track. Maybe they would be there in the middle, but it was done in such a way that it seemed like there might have even been multiple people in there. But it was just him with the little fucking red light bulb inside, and I think it was a Christmas. I went into the attic and got one, or the basement and got one of the little Christmas bulbs on the stick there, the fake candles. And I put that in there, and it blinked. It was pretty cool. I used to do shit like that just on the fly. And then my neighborhood would be like, dude, your fucking porch was awesome, man. But my buddy Gerald's house, he had an indoor porch that you had to go into to get to the main door. And it was all screened off. And then there was all this ivy over it. So it just had a creepy look anyway. But the first year he had one of those skeletons come fly out at you. There was like a black... He took trash bags and sliced it so, you could fly through it and back and forth. And left an opening in the middle for a track, a string. And he had a motor hooked up to it, just a light switch that you would stick into a wall. And whenever someone would ring the doorbell, he would flick that and it would come at him. It wouldn't hit him or anything. But then he wired it up to the doorbell one year. His dad was so pissed. People ringing the doorbell. But he always had to manually, while he was giving the candy, manually set the thing back. It was pretty fun. He was a really smart dude. And he had the thing that after it passed a certain point, it shut the power off, or I don't know what he did. I know I'm drinking coffee, but I am so excited that this retro-inspired lime Diet Coke is back. I love this stuff. I don't know why. I'm not a Coke fan at all. But there's a flavor to the lime Diet Coke that I absolutely love. It almost tastes like baby aspirin. Go figure. Let's see. Violation Entertainment says, no Halloween stories here. It's green and sunny spring. That's right. That's right. You guys still don't do Halloween, though, huh? Or do you do Halloween so people just don't give a shit because it's warm? Or do you have another time that you do Halloween? Educate us stupid Americans about the way down under. I follow a couple of Australians. One of them is a guy named Chris. And he does Chris's Custom Collectibles. And Chris's Cosplay or something like that. And he's really big into Freddy gloves and the Nightmare on Elm Street. He's doing a 1-to-1 bust of Freddy Part 2, I think. Pretty cool stuff. I would think you guys still did Halloween, all right? I don't know, how many Irish people you guys got down there? Oh my god. Yeah, maybe I will go out and pass candy outside. I'll be like, here's your candy. You stupid little kid, now I'm gonna go eat your mom's face. Ah! Just show 'em my real teeth. Yeah! I'm gonna kill your whole family. Last year, it was warm enough to have my snake out there. I thought that was pretty cool. Not that it was warm, but that I had a fucking real snake out there. It was Halloween, so I was like, you know what? How often do you get to have a fucking snake around your neck on Halloween, right? So I went out there with Alucard, and we were on the corner, and I explained this yesterday, that we live in one of those weird streets where on the corner was one way. It's real dark. It's one of those things where you just look at it, and it's not dangerous or anything, but it's like, yeah, you know, the benefits don't outweigh the risk. So there's not really a lot of trick-or-treating going on up and down, but at the corner, we're at like a 5-way stop sign, right? My street turns into a one-way, and then it breaks off this way, and then that way, and then that way. So what I do is I stay on the corner there. We set up around, we have a brick wall, and we're very visible there, but we even still, because there's not many houses on my side of the road going up Malvern, there's like 2 houses, and they're all the way at the end. Even though it's not a one-way, everyone's on the other side. So when they cross over that 5-way intersection, they stay so far away from us. But we did get a couple of people last year, and they came over, and then when they realized the snake moved and was real, they were like, oh, what the fuck? But they got their kids, you know, they got to wear it and stuff. If they had, like, goofy things on, I'd ask them to take it off. But I did have some, you know, sanitizer. But it was fun. It was fun having Alucard out there for a Halloween. It's kind of warm today. I'm sweating my balls off right now for you guys, because I'm in the sunroom. I don't have an air conditioner. Oh, I got a fan. I got a fan. I can get some conductive cooling. The creep just doxed him. You know what? I'm not even worried about that kid. I come from an area where this whole neighborhood will fucking step up if they need to. I'm not worried about that. You want to show up and acting a fool in my neighborhood? The cops don't even get called, so. Come on by. Come on by. In fact, somebody sent me a picture of my house once. And I was just like, well, if you follow your little map there, west about 1 block, you'll find a Dunkin' Donuts. And if you show up to that fucking door that you're showing me the picture of, you better have some Dunkin' Donuts in your fucking hand so you're not walking away. So, the wonderful thing about me, and it's not a braggery thing, but I just want to make sure everyone understands that I am, you know, I'm retired law enforcement. I have training in what they call fight indicators or imminent danger indicators. And I know. I know what can and can't be done, and I know when you can stretch it a little bit, just, you know, a little bit, just to kind of be like, oh, just, you know, I'm genuinely not worried about that. My kids are well protected outside of my house. I mean, half our friends are fucking cops. I went to high school with all of them, pretty much, most of them. I'm actually getting to that age now where there's cops out there. I'm like, God damn, that kid's young. I'm that age now. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because I remember hearing my dad being like, wow, that cop is wicked young. And I wasn't sure if it was he didn't have confidence in them being in a position like that or not. And I'm pretty sure now, no, that wasn't him at all. He just felt old. He just felt old, but only about 12,000 kilometers away from me. Hey, come on over, man. Come on. I didn't think you would. But there are some people who have threatened to do it. There was one guy that says, I follow your daughters home every day to school or something like that. And the sins of the father will be laid upon them. And he actually used the R word. I was just like, all right, dude, shut up. Shut up. Because 2 things are going to happen. You're either actually going to be stupid enough to do it now, or you're too stupid to realize that all I have to do is just give this to the right person, and they'll find who you are, alt account or not. And I'm talking law enforcement. You fucking stupid. And I did. I did that with one of the dudes. And I got to have a conversation with him on the phone. No joke. That fucking really happened. I had one guy talking about shooting things up and all this kind of nonsense. So I was like, I know this guy's full of shit. All right, I got to take this off, guys. I'm sorry. I'll put it back on. It's actually the hood. If I take the hood off, I think I'll be fine. But I brought it to my buddy. This kid, he called off of work to go see Pink Floyd with me. So I had an extra ticket. He was like, dude, I'm about to go to work. I'm like, fuck you are. You just fell down. You don't feel well. Let's go to Foxborough. And I ended up with 2 more tickets to the next 2 shows. But I brought it to him. I was just like, hey, I'm not going to say his name. We'll call him Mike. It's Halloween, right? He came home. I'm like, Mike, is there anything that you guys can do with information from this? And he's like, yeah, bring your laptop down. So we went into this guy's office, and he fucked around with it for a little bit. And he fucked around with me, too, going into my stuff and being like, what is this? And, making jokes of what isn't really there. And then he came up with it. And he's like, yeah, no, this is coming from such and such of this and that and that. So then he made a few phone calls to, I don't know, providers or somebody. But it took like 25, 30 minutes for me to get the guy's number. Maybe a half hour from the time we entered that guy's office. And I called him. And I fucking called him. And the cops called him. And we just resolved it right then and there, right? And it turned out to be exactly what I thought it was. Just somebody thinking they're a fucking tough guy with the keyboard. Thinking that they're going to shake my fucking shit. So I'm not worried about being doxxed at all. No. Actually, this makes it look like hair. I look like a zombie version of Otis Driftwood from the zombie trilogies, not the Marx Brothers. Otis P. Driftwood. I'm not talking about socks with Mickey Mouse on one side and Donald Duck on the other. I'm talking about reality. I'm talking about flesh and blood. Mechanical reproduction. And he's like, fuck it. And good times, Hope it does get chilly tonight. Because I do want to stream. I want to stream and do a lot of fun things tonight. Cry me like your French girls, Jack. I'm going to be fucking with this the whole fucking stream, aren't I? Well, what are some of your favorite candies? Jerome, I forgot you were in here. I'm sorry. I know you got a lot to say about Halloween. I'm just waiting for the chat to fucking give me things to talk about here. I've already talked about my costumes. I'll tell you a fun story. Let's see. You look like a hippie meth teacher I had once. Oh, math teacher. I was going to say, how does hippie and meth go together? I don't see hippies doing meth. I see fucking junkies doing meth. I don't see hippies. Hippies are just fucking... There we go. Now I look like an 80s fucking rock star. Every rose has its thorn. All right. This is getting fucking obnoxious. I just want to fold it over. There we go. Fucking Christ. There's like spiky things on here. I'm hoping it holds it, man. What the fuck? It did just fine with the fucking hoodie on. I don't know. If you're wondering about the mask, if you go to Instagram and put in Creeper masks, that's who I got this one from. This is, take the whole thing off. It's wicked thick. It's heavy. And it does these heavy-duty fucking straps and shit. A lot of foam padding on the inside. Wicked rigid. And all this green... Actually, the whole thing glows. Two different, like, intensities. The skull itself has like a green hue to it when it glows, but all this, what I don't know what you want to call it, sinews, all this crap around it glows like a real bright dark green. I should say a real vibrant dark green. But he had a contest, and I won. It was one of those contests where no one knew they were in it, you know. He just said, I posted this new idea, and the people who reacted to the story were put into a giveaway, and I'm going to give that to you, Amelia Macabre. And I'm like, I will accept that with glee and squee, like a little schoolgirl. And I also purchased a blank, it's a full skull, but I turned it into like an Elvis Frankenstein skull. I don't have any straps for it, or I would be wearing it today. But you are creepier than usual. I am, dude. I am. This might be shades of what may be coming, may not be coming. Because I've been telling people for the last week that as of January 1st, there was going to be a complete shift of who I am and what I'm doing here. Well, okay. Only in title and aesthetic alone. And maybe even quality of product. Maybe. But I am taking the Atari fucking moniker off of all of my shit. I'm keeping my original with the controller. My buddy took that picture in a closet. We were doing a photo shoot. He asked me just to help him out, like holding things and helping set up things because I had an artistic touch. Fucking weirdo. It was basically just like perler art of like gaming characters and cartridges and stuff. It was for a place called the Gaming Zone in Tempe, Arizona. They now have like 3 or 4, maybe even more locations. But back then they had the one in Tempe. It was the first place I ever saw that had a gaming lounge in the back. And we used to do our retro nights back there. $5 a head, you can come back and you could play all the retro stuff that you wanted. And people brought stuff that was pretty obscure. You know, I'd never seen a Super Famicom yet until that happened. Another one of my buddies, God rest his soul, he passed away of complications of being a fucking big tub of goo and not listening to anybody. I could still be real with my friends. But unfortunately, he passed away. And he had the same computer that, if I remember correctly, it played Street Fighter 2 on floppy. And if I remember correctly, it was the same computer, not the actual one, but the same developer computer that made that game to begin with. I can't remember what it was, but we were doing a photo shoot for that store. And he told me to bring one of my joysticks because they didn't go that far back. They fucking hated Atari. I had a television. They were straight up NES and above. And still are to this day, I think. Oh, that's a cool look. If you walk through Witch's Woods, past the hanging tree, then down Dead Man's Lane, a little wooden footbridge past Creepy Hollow brings you to a cemetery. It's actually from a cassette I have. No one brought any SG-1000s. However, I did have a way for people to play that, and I did bring that along. It was this little... I don't even know how to fucking describe it. It was like a memory thing that stuck into my console. I don't have it anymore, and I don't know where it came from. I want to say it was... Ow, I'm fat! I have this, which has Genesis, Master System, Mega Drive, SG-1000, all, you know, on a convenient little fucking SD card. The Mega Drive, something or other, flash cartridge. So I probably would have brought something like this. But we were doing a photo shoot, and he told me to bring an Atari, controller. And he's like, dude, I just want to get a little bit of light on your face and the controller. And I did the thing, right? And he's like, now use that for your logo. I'm like, fucking thank you, bro. So if you've seen, you know, that logo, I think I still have it in here. Hold on. Let me see if I can't pull it up. Add an image. Existing. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, maybe it's not in here anymore. Alright, well, I'll just fucking create a new one. I know exactly where to find it in my computer. I know where to find it in my computer. So we'll just do that. We'll just do that. Where is... There we go. That bad Larry right there. And it's going to be sad to see that going because I've had that for pretty much the entirety of the channel. And it's sad to see it going away, but we are going to have a funeral for that name. Are you sure you want to remove it? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I do want to take the channel a little bit more seriously. I never really did in the past. And it's not for any other reason than I want to see where it could go. You know, I tried to do the whole 10,000 before 2026. Didn't happen. But, you know, it is. Sharp, yes, that is the fucking one. It was a Sharp computer. SG-1000, yeah, no, that's just a console that Sega made that was pretty much, I'm pretty sure the SG-1000 was a ColecoVision clone or vice versa. Not officially. I would never have found your channel if it wasn't for the Atari and the Creep. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. But you know what? I've been around for 13 fucking years. If someone hasn't found me yet, they're not going to fucking find me. And you know what? The only thing that's going to change is like this guy. He's my new guy. That's me. That's me. It's my fucking avatar. And look at the thumbnail of this. I told the fucking ChatGPT thing to put a fucking pumpkin in his hand. And put an Atari logo in the jack-o'-lantern. Not ChatGPT. I use Gemini. I'm not afraid to say it. I can't draw shit like this. And I'm not using it to make money. You know, I didn't sell it to anybody. So I'm using him as my guide from now on. I really enjoyed what it came up with. It was literally just for something else. And I'm like, ooh, put a controller in his hand. And then I made that t-shirt. And Atari took it down because of that fucking controller. I even resized it. And then I changed it to Bones. And they took that one down while putting the original back up and then taking the original back down. So it was truly sparked by the t-shirt thing. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to do things. And if I were to do like here's the thing with the money part of it. If I were to have sold like 50 of those shirts, I probably would have gotten like $100 or something like that. I probably would have taken $100 and bought a Man Cave shirt, Brian's Man Cave, or an Intelligent Gamer shirt, or a DJC, or one of you guys, Because I don't feel like I'm really part of the community because I don't have, that. I don't have the social thing. I don't have the everybody helping each other out thing because I'm poor. And there's no other reason for it than my decisions in life and a little bit of health. And I'm not complaining about it. It's just the status of my own fucking reality. And I'm kind of hoping to take things more serious so that it can turn into that. And there are times like right now where I wish I had been able to pre-order the Intellivision Sprint. Hopefully my interview this coming week, or I should say it's more of an actual test. Can you do what you say you told us you could do? On the 5th, Wednesday, the 5th, goes through. So I will do that. And I just put out a video yesterday talking about the new 2600 Plus, and I'm noticing that the controls are pretty much lined up with the control panel on an actual 4-switch model of Atari 2600, whether it be the Vader or the wood grain, right? Doesn't matter. And I'm wondering if with some, maybe with none, other than you have to find a way to put an HDMI port in the back of the fucking thing, could that go in there, But I don't have one of those. I didn't have the money for it, and I chose not to make the money for it because I have this for now, So I'm trying to take shit more serious, and I do want to get more stuff out there, T-shirts, and more for fun than anything. You know, I want to do the real thing without trying to become the fucking famous rich guy. But I can't do it with the name Atari attached to it. And that's the sad reality of it. It doesn't belong to me, it doesn't matter. And I can't really be mad about it. I can be frustrated, and I am. See the pumpkins glowing in the background? Woo! You know, I can be frustrated by it, but I can't really be mad about it because I legally don't own the name Atari. I don't. And no one gave a fuck about Atari when I made this channel. Nobody, nada. I think they were still kind of putting their name on like roller coaster games or some stupid shit like that. There might have been a Matrix movie game tie-in. But regardless of when I started this channel, actually that was way before, but no one gave a fuck about Atari, and I didn't see a problem with it, you know? And over time, Atari has developed into an actual legitimate existing entity. And they're, whether you enjoy it or not, they're doing very good things, and they're taking care of people and making all of our pre-NES fucking little dreams come true. And they're really hardcore about hanging on to their IP, and I don't blame them. And I don't blame them, because if someone else started calling themselves Atari Creep around here, I mean, fine, whatever, I guess. But if they came by here, I would fucking be like, your mom's a whore and she gave me AIDS. Or, you know, make fun of them. I'd just belittle them for no reason other than just to belittle them. Because I am a dickhead too. I'm a nice guy, but I'm also a dickhead. It's really that simple. And I think it's just my culture. I think it's my culture. But we're not here to talk about Atari Creep. We're here to talk about the spookies. God damn, President Predicto. Did we go off fucking rails or what, bro? This fucking guy over here.
I think it's totally ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, man. We need to stay on topic. Happy Undertaker Grandpa. This fucking kid. I can't tell if he's genuine or he is trying to push my buttons. I don't mind that, though. It's funny. What's up, buddy? Thanks for coming in, man. I really thought you were never going to come back. Myself, in the Optimum vlog, I don't have my glasses. Didn't see eye to eye about personal communication. I don't do the whole chitter chat thing, you know? Even the cats that have been with me for Jerome, we've been friends on Facebook for how long now? How often do we chat? I mean, he'll send me shit and it'll just stay in the unread box for so long. It's just not in me to go into a you know, a chat thing. No, I know, I'm just breaking your balls. But I'm just, for transparency's sake, to let people know why I say stuff like that. And I'm not just randomly being a dickhead like I said I was a minute ago. But they are the type of individual that would really like to have that conversation. But it's just not in me. Not with my family, not with my friends, not with viewers. God, it's so weird to say that. I don't even look at you guys like that. I don't look at you guys as viewers, and maybe that's what it is. I look at you guys as just people who come by and hang out. You know, we all love this stupid shit. Frankenstein's monster. Reviews of the new Frankenstein movie have been coming out. I'm fucking trying my best not to watch a single one of them. And I'm so excited. I can't wait to illegally download Guillermo del Toro. No, I'll go to the theaters and see it. I'll go to the theaters and see that one. If it's in the theaters. I hope it's not just streaming. Because if it is just streaming, then I'll rip it from somewhere. I don't give a fuck. I'm not even ashamed to say that. I spend so much money on fucking media. I think they can live without my $9 or whatever it would be. You're good, Grandpa, man. I support you. I appreciate it, dude. I just don't want people to get fucking butthurt about it. That's all. It's never personal. And honestly, it's just who I am. You know, my lady in the other room, she has Fridays off. She'll send me shit. Like, while setting this up, she's like, I'm almost home with groceries. Can I get some help? And I'm just like, I'll see that tomorrow. It's just the way it is, man. Unless there's emergencies or something big happening, like there's job stuff, you know. But holy shit, I'm wearing the same Intellivision sweatshirt. It's the only one I have that's not zipped up. I should have worn it inside out. I know. This is the warmest. Come on, Howard, tell the people. And I'm not asking you to go out and buy this Intellivision shirt. I will look at the tag and see what it says. What they use to make this shirt is probably one of the warmest fucking sweatshirts I have ever owned in my entire fat 50 fucking years on this planet. But, howdy, Creep. Happy Halloween, dude. Happy Halloween to you, my friend, Howard. Again, another personal friend on Facebook. How often do I really get into the instant messages, you know? I said something in Facebook right now. Thanks, dude. I'll see it. I'll see it after the new year, probably. No, I'm just kidding. I'm itching my nose. Shut up. Worms coming out of my nostril hole. Was that spooky? That was fucking spooky. I have about 3 different ones. Right on, man. I didn't go that hardcore. With the merchandise. I got the shirt. There's like that weird poster of the controller over here on a canvas. That's the pieces of it blown out. Let's see. I got the physical media. I got a mug. The girls got a shirt. A couple other things. Actually, I don't think I bought the original. Remember when they were going to do that weird smart shirt thing? I bought one of those. I didn't pay for any of these, and I'm pretty sure I told everybody that when I unboxed it all. But he's like, yeah, blah blah blah. Let's get you hooked up. When he was hooking everybody up, I was like, nah, dude, I'm good. He's like, you gotta need something. I'm like, all right, let me get a sweatshirt and the girls a couple of shirts. You know, I didn't give a fuck about me. But he was nice enough to put in a ball cap. I got a right here is a beanie from the Running Man. I got the Rebel mug. A couple other things. That weird poster thing. I can't remember. Maybe there was a poster in there too, like an actual poster. There's an unboxing video. Go seek it out. But I paid for the games. I paid for the smart shirt. I guess that's really it. And aside from the console itself, I never received anything from them. Not under those contexts, anyway. Someone did something very special for me, though. I didn't even know who they were at the time. Right around the time I was having a real bad time with it, but I'll just leave it at that. They reached out and they were very helpful. Very helpful in my lower days of not wanting to be on the planet. And people still talk about it. So fucking weird. It saved his life. No, it wasn't the console. It was watching my families enjoying something together. We could have been at the fucking zoo. It didn't fucking matter. We could have been at a fucking cockfight. Didn't matter. They were all having a good time, and I was watching my family enjoying something together. And it was just one of those profound moments. I just saw it because everyone, you got 3 women and me. We all just do our own thing, and it's a small apartment, so things can get a little heated sometimes. It's never bad, we never cops and all that shit and beating each other. But, tensions do rise, and it was at a part where some of us weren't getting along. The girls were starting to do the adolescent thing and hormones, and some people were taking things personal when it really wasn't about personal, and I was just in one of those bad downslopes of my mental health journey, so to speak. And I was prepared to leave. I was legit prepared to leave. And the only reason I went to that fucking thing is because I was obligated to. I was asked to. I helped put the fucking thing together. But the next day, I wasn't going to be around anymore. But I watched them, and it was really the moment when I said, do you guys want to go to the second one? Because I didn't. I wasn't going to go. I was going to make some excuse about not feeling well or some stupid shit like that. And they were like, fuck no, we're going to the next one, dude. No, we want to go. And I was just like, wow. Okay. I don't want to. But they do, and they're having a good fucking time. So fuck it. I'm going to follow them and see if I can't get the happy feels from it. And I did. Some people don't understand it. They want to make it like it's a fucking joke or some kind of bigger deal than it really was. But had we not gone to that first one and my kids not said, no, we want to go, and my lady too. I didn't think she was going to enjoy herself at all. I thought after an hour she was going to be giving me that look like, how much longer? No. Nope. No, they were out there doing their thing. My daughter was playing, I want to say it was Finnegan Fox. Was it Finnegan Fox? No, I think it was Astro. It was Astro Smash. With 2 controllers in her hand at the second event. It was a really good time. I had a blast. But it was right around that time. Somebody reached out and was like, whoa, I know you don't know me. I'm part of the organization, blah, 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 blah. And I appreciate, your dedication and all that crap. And, but fucking don't do it at the expense of your existence. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't getting too much and all that. It's just like, you don't have to prove anything to anybody. We know you dig it, and if it's taking a toll on you, I'm like, no, there's more to it than just a stupid little piece of plastic. Doesn't revolve around my fucking universe. But I mean, technically, you already are like Undertaker. I guess I am. I think we had this conversation. Do you remember what his name was before he became the Undertaker? I remember the very day he was first broadcast with the WWF. And I remember looking at the guy going, holy fuck, that looks like Mean Mark Gallus. And it was Mean Mark. When I saw him do the tombstone, what became the tombstone, I'm like, that's the Mean Mark move. The mean move. He just altered it. I wasn't a big wrestling fan, but everybody around this town was. Wrestling is a New England thing. Connecticut up here and all that. They used to come to my high school and do benefits for the hockey team. It would be some of the lower tier stuff, the stuff that we would call jobbers. But there were names you knew, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan came by once. Who are the 2 clowns? The 2 clowns. They came. I was in high school. I didn't give 2 fucks about any of this shit then. I was worried about metal and pussy. That's it. That's all my life revolved around. Metal, getting fucked up, and fucking. Well, they came. LOD came. In my high school gym. But it was a big thing. Every month we would go to the Boston Guy and get the shitty seats and then go down to the cool area. We'd go behind where all the wrestlers would walk in with their gear and all that. I met so many wrestlers just shaking hands and, it was kind of useless on me because I wasn't the biggest fan, but all of my friends were. And we had like a little wrestling league. We would set up arenas, or I should say rings, out of pallets. Pallets, 2x4s, and rope. And I still have scars on my knee jumping off of my buddy's porch. And my knee hitting a pallet just right in a fucking nail going right into it. The head of a nail just fucking gashing my knee. So I would take all over my face and be like, ah! Blood flood! It was fun. It was fun stuff. I just never could get into it. But I think it was a Royal Rumble where they have the 4-on-4 teams before the big fucking thing. And the $1 Million Man had the silhouette for the couple of weeks. Saying we have a special new guy coming. And everyone was like, ooh, I wonder who it's going to be. And then all of a sudden you hear the fucking funeral music, and out comes this fucking dude in a hat. And he looks the part. And then he quoted Alice Cooper's I Love the Dead. And I was instantly in love. I said, I have an actual wrestling guy to follow now. Mean Mark Callis from the WCW. Actually, was he NWA or WCW? I can't remember, but he was one of the smaller wrestling organizations. But yeah, Mean Mark. I remember when he first came out, and the fact that he quoted Alice Cooper in a crowd full of fucking people who had probably no idea what the fuck he was saying. It was awesome. Because it was before Alice Cooper came back with the whole, what was that album called? Trash? That brought him back into the spotlight and everything. I mean, he did Get stricter for the Nightmare Returns tour. Oh, that reminds me. You know what went on sale today? You know what went on sale today? Tickets at the TD Garden in Boston to see Iron Maiden, Anthrax, and fucking Megadeth. And I'm praying to God the tickets don't get too expensive by the time I get a fucking paycheck. Because even if I get just one ticket to go by myself, I really want to go see that. I really want to go see that. I love Maiden. I used to love Megadeth. Dude, fucking Megadeth is recording Ride the Lightning, the song, not the album. How fucking cool is that? I want to hear Dave's version of that. But more importantly, Anthrax. I can't recall, aside from the King of Titans tour, I think it was called. It was them. It was basically the Big Four without Metallica. And Alice in Chains opened up for them. And then Alice in Chains and all those bands became big and never took out the other guys. So fucking single-minded that grunge community was. I swear to God. Fucking metal guys didn't care. They're like, look at this. It's a new version of metal. It's a little more whiny, but fuck it, right? It's still metal. It's still in our DNA. Come on out. We'll make you big. And then just overnight, like bands like Slayer and Anthrax and fuck, even Poison and Warrant and all that crap. All that went right out the fucking door, kid. For a bunch of whiny little fucking pukes from Seattle. Although I love Alice in Chains. I absolutely adore Alice in Chains and Soundgarden. I like STP. I fucking hate Pearl Jam. I fucking hate them. It's very rare that a band will use the H word in my brain. Or, you know what I mean? There are bands I just don't like. Like, I don't like Rush because I just don't like the singing. But there are songs from them that I do like, you know? But just as a whole, I just can't sit and listen to them. Pearl Jam, I fucking literally physically go, ugh. Shut this fucking garbage off. There's just something about Eddie Vedder and his voice. I don't know. I can't stand the fucking guy. I don't know anything about him. Like, I've never read a story about him that made me upset. In fact, by all accounts, he's a pretty decent guy. He's a humanitarian. You know, he might take it a little too far on the left side of things, but might be the nicest guy in the world. I just can't fucking stand Pearl Jam. I don't know why. I Get Dirt for Christmas. I dig that album. Oh, fuck that, man. That's awesome. I love that album, man. Oh, I Got Dirt. Okay, I'm thinking you people gave you shit for listening to the album. But, I'm sorry. Yeah, Alice in Chains is such a... I will admit I did not give him any credit back then. Because I was literally out there in the trenches playing metal. Metal! And then comes down, and at first I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. And then I'm listening to the rest of the fucking music, and I'm just like, oh my God, these guys are heroin addicts. They're always sad. Oh no. They're always sad. I want anger. I don't want sadness. I want anger. And I guess that's what it was. What? Metal was angry. Hair metal was about getting laid, partying. And then alternative and grunge came out, and it was all about being sad and moody. I mean, just listen to the lyrics of Nutshell, you know? Amazing song, and I listen to it when I'm down and out, too, which is a bad idea. But then I realize I fight this fight alone. There's no one to talk to and nowhere to call home. How many of us feel that way? Even in our own homes, you know? Lance, man. Lance was, oh my, what a tragic, wonderful soul. People sit there and say it sucks that they had to suffer this world. And it's like, on a human, I'm going to get a little religious with you, then we're going to go. On a human level, we look at pain in the now. And we look at life as this big. And when you hear that someone has suffered, like take Job from the Bible, their entire life, and you're like, that's all they got on this planet. And you got a guy like me, who looks at that and says, okay, yes, there are people their entire life suffered. They got the bad end of the stick, whether it be from life choices or events out of their control, a combination of all or none of the above. There are just some people in this world, from the day they come out of their mother's old wazoo to the day they fucking go into the ground or whatever they choose to do with their bodies, suffer the entire time. And you're like, you have one short life. But I look at it, because I have religion, a cunt hair of time. You know, why do children suffer? Why do this and that? You know, and it's like, they did, but we look at pain and suffering in our own little time period. When, as a Christian, I believe that forever exists, just not on this rotten rock. And unfortunately, it feels like everything now. But if you look at it what is it that they say? In the comprehensive, a drop in the comprehensive ocean of our pain. I'll say it that way instead of our business. It's from A Christmas Carol, one of the greatest stories of all time. Our existence, our experience here is a drop of water in the comprehensive of everything. And if you don't believe in things go on, then I'm sorry. Nothing I'm going to say here is going to make any sense to you. But as someone who does believe there's more, whether it be heaven, whether it be another plane of existence, maybe you start over. It is such a small microcosm of time in the big picture. So if I suffer for the short 40, 50, 60 years I'll be on this planet, and I somehow become worthy enough to go through the gates up there, then it won't really... how we will laugh at the sorrows of parting when we meet again is an Irish funeral prayer. I didn't mean to get fucking all deep and shit on a Halloween stream, but I guess that's about death, right? But going back to the grunge cats, I think a lot of them, I mean, think about it, they came from Washington. Doesn't get a lot of sunlight. I'm not even saying that to be funny. Studies have shown that the holiday seasons, because of the holidays, has more uptake in self-harm, we'll call it that. Permanent self-harm. But it's also more attributed to less sunlight. It's darker, it's colder. It's a more harsh time of living. It physically fucks with you. It mentally fucks with you. And if you're already in certain states of being, it's going to amplify that, or you're going to be able to overcome it. But they come from that kind of an area. And it was my understanding that heroin was really big in that scene. On top of mental illness, Gen X mental illness. I mean, it's really that simple. We were raised on neglect and beatings, and I didn't get a lot of beatings, but from my parents anyway. My house was violent, but it wasn't my parents. My parents just fucking ignored it. They just ignored it. But guys, I'm going to leave you there. Happy Halloween. I'm going to try to stream tonight, like an actual creepy dark stream with a flame bulb and all the spooky Halloween stuff. Play some games. Maybe I'll try to fire up the VCS and we'll play Savage Halloween. Last time I tried to do that, it didn't work out well. I think the computer, the Atari computer and the controller didn't want to work together. And my controller just kept stopping. I'm hardwired. So, what are you going to say? Is it time to end the stream, buddy?
Forget all of that.
No, I don't want to forget all that. The Atari VCS is very important. So, you go back to your little fucking McDonald's and Diet Coke. I'll drink my Diet Lime Coke and I'll say goodbye to my friends. How about that, huh? How about that? Yeah, that's what I thought. This fucking Stenato. I don't have my glasses. I'm sorry, guys. The new singer sounds great for Alice in Chains. I'm almost afraid. I don't know. I heard that. It's just like Lance had such a presence, though. You know, it was more than a voice. There was an actual pain to what he was saying, because the chances are they came out in real times. You know, but I'll check it out. Jerry Cantrell plays great riffs. Jerry Cantrell is a wicked, phenomenal guitar player. He has his signature Epiphone It's a Les Paul, a wine red Les Paul with a fucking gold Floyd on it. And I don't know how I feel about that. A grunge cat with a Les Paul and a Floyd Rose. It's like everything coming together that should never have even been together to begin with. Wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff. Rooster, great song. Yeah, Dirt has a bunch of kick-ass songs. It really does. It really does. I don't think there's any song from them that I don't not like, or I do not like. There's some I'm like, I can listen to something better, but... And I think a lot of it had to do with Lance's fucking vocal cords. What you're talking about right now reminds me that though I have about the band Death... please forgive me, I don't have my glasses. A big part of Florida's death metal scene. They were. Florida had... Man, I remember going into Florida back when I was in bands. And you got to remember, it was like 96, 97, 98. Right around those time periods. Even into 99. And, like, I wasn't in, like, a thrash or a real heavy band, but I kept trying to play it heavy. I would throw gallops in there and shit. And we still had solos and stuff, but it was alternative. It was harder. I guess it kind of became what nu metal became. Because we were playing alongside of bands like Godsmack and shit. I have a really fun Godsmack story. In the fucking head. Pow! But that's for another story, you know? But going down there and playing in bands, we were fucking scared. Because you gotta remember, we also grew up around a lot of good fellas. And Florida's where people went to, you know? So you had that in the back of our brains. On top of all this death metal stuff. And there were some of those bands that were like actually into satanic rituals and shit. It wasn't just TV talking. This was well after the Satanic Panic. Oh, man. I can't remember what band it was where the singer actually did. And there was a picture of his suicide and it ended up on an album cover. I don't remember. But those fucking dudes down there, they're no fucking joke in Florida. No joke. Whether you're talking about music, whether you're talking about drugs, whether you're talking about fucking murder, whether you're talking about anything, even Disney. You go to Florida and you better be the real fucking deal, or you better get the fuck off that swamp island. And yes, I call it that. It's a fucking disgusting swamp that has a lot of wonderful things that we all like to go to. They just kind of evolved the death metal, philosophical metal type of theme. Oh, well, I don't know if I want to listen to speed metal and philosophy, you know? Why are we here? I wish I had the guitar now. We'd come up with an existential crisis song. I guess that's what metal was anyway. All right, guys. It's after 2 o'clock. It's fucking Halloween. I may come back in about 4 or 5 hours, depending. There is a football game here in town, the last one of the year, I believe, until the Thanksgiving game, which is actually our Thanksgiving game's in Fenway. Fucking cunt. Sorry, I hurt my shoulder not last weekend, but the weekend before, and I have to do these exercises. I fucking tore something up here. It sucks. I'm supposed to be in a thing, but it is what it is. Don't tell my lady that. She's been freaking out. Go to the doctor. I had it looked at ER. I'm going to do exercises, take the medicine, and I'm good. But guys, have a happy Halloween. If you don't come back tonight, be safe. I hope if you have little ones, they're out there having a great time. Check the candy. I mean, I don't believe that that's a real fucking thing. It could be now, you know. But in my day, it turned out to be the actual reporter of the crime, you know, trying to perpetuate the lies to make his kid go away, which is fucking horrible, but it is what it is. But guys, I hope you all have a fun and safe Halloween if you go out and celebrate tonight or whenever. Some people might do it tomorrow. Maybe you did it last week. It's fucking weird. But who the fuck am I to say anything? Look at this guy. This guy's calling you weird. But either way, guys, I hope you have fun. I hope you're safe. And wherever in the world you are, I hope you're well. And until next time, take care, creep it real. Look at the smile on my face. I can't wait to get out there. And bye-bye.